A rather quick one for you today, Miami Dolphins fans, as the obvious decision of exercising the fifth-year options for Jaylen Waddle and for Jaelan Phillips becomes official on Monday. Now, yeah, I say it's rather obvious because Chris Grier has already talked to the media about this, saying, yep, we're going to be exercising these contracts. But on Monday, it becomes officially official as the deadline actually to exercise the fifth-year options on first-rounders from the 2021 NFL draft was Thursday of this week. So we knew it was going to happen at some point in time. It just so happens to happen today. Real quick, before we jump into a little bit, we're going to hit on this news a little bit more in depth here. But right before we start, I want to hear from you. Your thoughts on exercising these options, your thoughts on getting these guys signed up, locked down for the long haul. Go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you haven't gotten subscribed yet, make sure you are doing so. We got all sorts of draft coverage. We just wrapped up recaps from day 1, 2, and 3, undrafted free agents. All that's right here on the Fins Up Network. So get subscribed if you haven't done so already. So the fifth-year option for Jaylen Waddle comes in at $15.6 million. The one for Jaelan Phillips comes in at $14.4 million. So the 2024 NFL season will actually be both players' fourth season. So today's news technically puts them under contract with the Miami Dolphins through the 2025 NFL season. However, in a perfect world, we're able to strike long-term deals with both of these players before they're eligible to test free agency in 2026, because as we became a little bit all too familiar with this NFL offseason with Christian Wilkins, with Robert Hunt, sometimes when players bet on themselves, you know what, damn it, they win, and you can't afford to keep everyone around. And that's what we experienced here this offseason by losing our best interior defensive lineman and one of our best offensive linemen. So with that said, I've already reported, I've discussed the fact that the Miami Dolphins have indeed offered Jaylen Waddle a contract extension. I know this information has not blown up. I don't think it's really even become public knowledge at this point in time, because Miami Dolphins fans will still go wild every single time a young wide receiver gets a contract extension. We're talking Devontae Smith recently, Amon-Ra St. Brown recently. Rest assured, the team is working on a deal right here. A contract offer extension has been made. It just hasn't been finalized yet. Chris Grier is not just sitting around. Contrary to popular belief, Chris Grier is trying to get this deal done as soon as possible. I do not, however, have any intel as to whether or not Jaelan Phillips has been offered an extension. My assumption here, I'm just doing some speculating, they may want to see how he bounces back from injury before offering him anything long-term. Regardless, both of these guys are now under contract through 2025, and now we wait and we hope that we can get these extensions done. Also, real quick as we wrap up here, if you're wondering why nothing is in the news about Jevon Holland, who was also in that 2021 NFL draft. Well, that's because you only have fifth-year options for players selected in the first round. And as you likely know, Jevon Holland was selected in the second round that year. However, why I bring that up is that I can report that when it comes to Jevon Holland, we are going to have our hands full. Imagine Christian Wilkins kind of all over again. Hopefully it doesn't get to that extent, but he appears pretty damn hell-bent on becoming one of, if not the highest paid safeties in the entire NFL. And you know from our experience, Chris Grier is not he's not scared to play a little bit of hardball based on this offseason, what we saw with Wilkins, with Robert Hunt. So I'm sure we'll be talking plenty more about that in the near future, but at least wanted to give the updates that I have as of today. We will wrap it up right there, Dolphins fans. Like I said, a quick one, but the fifth-year options for Waddle and Phillips are now officially official. So like I said, let's hear from you. Your thoughts on today's news, your thoughts on getting these guys locked up for the long term. If you got any thoughts on Jevon Holland, you know what to do. Drop it in the comments. Let's carry on the conversation there. We'll call it quits there for today, Miami Dolphins fans. And until next time, Fins up.